Hey there, and welcome back to Chords from Zero to Pleasure. My name is James Spear, and in the last 6 lessons, we learned about most of the theory behind chords. So now, before we get into even more theory and how to make them even better, we're going to learn how to actually use them when you are singing or someone else is singing and you're playing for them, okay? So this is just simple chords, nothing really fancy, but it's the first step. It's the first step that I took, and this is where I started. So now let me show you a little example, and then we'll get into it and break down what I did. I was guilty with nothing to say. Was heard that said, let him go, take me instead. Alright, so if you noticed, number 1, the main thing that I was doing was, I had the chord in my right hand, and I was just going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like that, okay? So I was just using the chord like that. And in my left hand, I was playing just the bass or the root of that chord. Just to make sure everything is understood, a root of a chord is the note that the chord is named after. So if I have the G chord, then the root is going to be G. If I have the C chord, the root's going to be C. Okay, so the root is very simple, easy to understand. It's just the same note as the chord is named after. So I have my right hand playing the chord itself. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. While my left hand is doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you put that together and you get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I know I added a little bit something there. So you can do that yourself too. So you basically have the main chord up here and the bass or the root of the chord down here. Okay? So that is mostly what you're going to do with the chords. There's variations of chords, obviously, like you can invert them and you can do things like that, but that's not for you to worry about at this moment. At this moment, you need to get good at finding just the basic chords. So if the chord, like here, is G, so I was G with, and then it goes to C. Nothing to, and then back to G. Say, and they were, and back to, and then to E minor. Coming to A, take me away, dear. Okay, so practice your chords like that. Just the chord and the bass. I was guilty with nothing to say, and they were coming to take me away. So there, it's nice and simple and easy. So since that's so easy, practice it, do your best. If you don't quite understand something, let me know in the comments, or you can go back and watch my other 7 videos if you have a specific question that you think matches one of those titles. One more thing. This is small and simple, so I'm going to go ahead and add it to this. If you'll back at the picture that I showed you of the music sheet right here, I want you to notice that in a few places, like it says, and they were coming to take me away, and the chord written in red above that has D with a slash and then C, okay? So that's telling you that instead of normally you would be playing the root of the D chord in your left hand, the writer of the chords is getting specific and they don't want you to play the D, they want you to play a C. So it's going to sound, you're going to play through, and they were coming to take me away. You're on D for away. And then you get to that D with the C under it. Then a voice. Things like that provide beautiful transitions, and you're going to find them often while you're playing chords. So just a little simple something. If you see a slash and then another letter underneath a chord name, that just means the writer's getting specific about what you do with your left hand. So you just play that note with your left hand, okay? And I was doing octaves with my left hand. I wasn't doing just one little note. I was taking that note and going to the same note name, what we call an octave below, okay? Almost a hand span. So A, D, D, C, C, G, G. It's simple. If you are comfortable doing just the one or the octave, whichever one you want, it's up to you. Okay? So there you have it. Playing chords. Actually playing them. Very, very simple, very easy. You're starting out small, okay? I started out just like this. My sister, my mother, they helped to teach me chords, and I didn't know the theory behind them. I just memorized, this is the G chord, this is the C chord, D chord, and things like that. I just memorized them like that. And then later, I learned the theory and I was able to learn a lot more chords, okay? But now you know the theory, you can find whatever chord you want. And so I started out small like that, just the chord, just the bass. But I watched other people play the piano, I listened to how the people played the piano, reading notes, playing chords, whatever they were doing, and I tried to figure out how they got that sound out of the piano. Like the first one that I learned how to do was when you get to a really, really strong part of the song, you do something like that. And I was so inspired when I saw someone do that. I was like, oh, I need to do that. But I couldn't do it. It was just too hard. So I started out small. I decided, okay, I want to do that. I want to get that in my song, but I can't do it really fast. So I did it in what we call triplets. And it even took me a long time to get that down, to be able to do... Sorry. It took me a long time just to be able to do that. But eventually it came, and I kept practicing and I grew, and now I can do a lot more just with chords. So chords is for creative people or just people who want to have a little fun. Depends on how far you want to go. But you all have to start small. So start small, listen, watch, learn, practice, and one day you'll be able to play a lot more than you ever dreamed.